What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? The biggest questions of all. The questions that have dogged the greatest minds for centuries. It makes me look up to the heavens in awe at our vast, magnificent universe and wonder at the possibilities of what life is all about. Join me on a journey to understand more about who we are, why we're here, and to discover more happiness, meaning, and purpose. In the previous video, we said that the people and situations of our lives are influenced by our conditionings. Let's describe how each of the 4 major types of conditionings can influence our projected reality. Resistances occur in our lives when we are agitated by a problem. I don't want this. I wish it would go away. Or the shoulds and shouldn'ts of life. This should be like this. That person should behave like this. Now, these problems that we encounter, they love worry. Worry energy keeps the problems going. By feeling agitated and fearful, we're saying that we don't already have the solution to our problems. And so this is the reality that we project onto the screen. And so we continue having the experience of resistance in our lives until we change our state of mind. Problems in life are not really problems as such. They're simply situations that we have to face for us to grow. And when we recognize this, our worry just drops, and we create the clarity of thought to choose the right course of action in that situation. Now, if our minds are in a state of wanting, we have a desperate desire for things. I want this, I want that. This can make us feel incomplete, like we're lacking something in our lives. The projector simply shines through this feeling of desperately wanting. And then the universe will recreate the continuing experience of incompleteness and lack. Scarcity consciousness attracts lack. This is scarcity thinking. But even this occurs in our lives to help us remove our excessive attachments, remove our excessive desires. I can realize that even today, there is abundance in my life. There are so many things to be grateful for. After all, we are all, in our essence, units of unconditioned, blissful consciousness. Ultimately, we need nothing to be happy. So desperately wanting is the opposite of who we truly are. Which leads us on to an even bigger revelation. You'll have everything you want in life when you're prepared to lose it all. When we're truly surrendered. When we feel so contented and grateful with whatever we have, then nature provides us with what is best for us. We remove our self-imposed limitations. Then we let the light in and we recruit the power of the oneness to help support us towards our higher goals. Finally, please don't underestimate the power of positive visualization in influencing our reality. Positive visualization aligns our mind with our goals. We can influence what comes up in life and then let it go.
Sometimes we will get what we desire. Sometimes we won't. But we always get what we need for our growth, not just our own gratification.
If we're grateful for what we have, the projector light shines through our sense of completeness and gratitude and projects that into the theatre of our lives. And so we gain more of that for which we are grateful. What we appreciate appreciates in life.
An attitude of gratitude creates abundance in our lives. It's one of the greatest gifts that we can give to ourselves.
If we are attached to something, then this can lead to fear. Fear of not getting what we want or losing what we have. Where there is fear, there is the thought and feeling of loss. And we may attract exactly that which we fear. Because worrying is a form of negative visualization. Even this is an opportunity for us to let go of our fears by facing them, and so flow with the ups and downs of life fearlessly. Almost all traditions talk about faith and the importance of letting go of fear, facing the future with trust that whatever comes our way is right for us.
So from what we've said so far, it's certainly useful for us to reduce the intensity of our desires and resistances. But how do we do this? In the experiment video, I went through lots of techniques, and all of those techniques at some level help to reduce our desires and resistances and to calm and center the mind. Strong beliefs strongly influence our reality. Whatever we fervently hold on to as the truth will be manifested in the world around us. The outer world is presented to us in accordance with our beliefs. Why? To give us opportunities to change those beliefs for the better. If you believe that you aren't courageous, do you think you are just given courage? Or are you given an opportunity to develop and show courage? Everything in life is an opportunity to evolve, to grow, to become stronger.
For instance, if we have a deep belief that we're a failure, we will keep experiencing failure again and again. We may keep getting the wrong kind of job or the wrong kind of relationship or whatever. But instead, through self-awareness and self-acceptance, we can bring the loving light of consciousness to the dark shadows that dwell within us. We may choose to let go of some old beliefs that don't serve us anymore, and instead substitute them with more empowering beliefs. For example, I am becoming more and more successful in whatever I put my mind to. Now, other times we may actually have to do what we think we can't do in order to shift the belief, to empower ourselves. We just do something despite what the mind believes.
The fourth S of the New Groove technique is substitute.
Now here, you substitute the old belief for a new belief, a new way of being.
The more powerfully you repeatedly visualize this new way of thinking, the more you create a new, deeper groove in the mind, a conducive conditioning. And the universe conspires to create a reality that fits in with your dominant visualization about it. I suggest that when you wake up in the morning and you're lying in bed, you visualize your goals already achieved and how you'll feel once your goals have already completed.
People and situations will come into our lives and trigger unresolved emotions from the past.
When these storms of emotion come up, we may superimpose these old emotions on today's people and situations, blaming today's people for how we feel. Whereas up to 90% of our emotional reaction may in fact be coming from the people and situations of the past. For instance, our parents.
If we recognize this and don't read too deeply into our raw emotions, then we create a space for us to reflect on our emotions and move on from them. Why am I reacting so strongly? Where have I felt this emotion before? What mistakes have I made in similar situations in the past?
Now, this is rarely easy. Strong emotions can trigger confusion. But if out of this confusion, we undertake deep self-inquiry, this can lead to profound change. Sometimes our greatest life challenges offer the biggest opportunities for step changes in our evolution. Opportunities to root out the deep negativities that lurk within us.
We need to acknowledge the emotions that we have resisted inside of ourselves. Not push these emotions away or repress them or ignore them. We have to face these difficult emotions, accept them, understand where they came from, and then accept ourselves for having them. And then release or forgive the past, either by forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, or asking others for their forgiveness. What goes around comes around. Whatever you unconsciously cause another person to experience, one day you may experience yourself. Now, why is that? Well, it's an opportunity for us to grow from the situation, to see it from the other person's point of view. This generally increases our awareness and sensitivity, and eventually may make us more loving and compassionate.
For example, if someone has lied and cheated other people for personal gain, later down the line, the same thing may happen to them. If, as a result of this, they feel the pain that they have caused and then they change, then the experience has helped them grow.
If we help others, if we share our wealth, then we come from a place of abundance. And so more abundance comes our way. The projected reality system works perfectly to help us to grow.
There are many people who talk about the law of attraction. That if you change your thoughts, you can manifest whatever you want in your life. If you really visualize having a flashy sports car, then you'll definitely get a flashy sports car.
But many people have been disappointed by this. They've read the books, they've been on the courses, but they're still not getting what they want in their lives. For some people, this has actually made them more unhappy. This is because there's always a danger in taking one piece of spiritual knowledge and using it on its own for personal gain, rather than taking all of the knowledge holistically. There are two reasons why intensely visualizing something may not necessarily directly create that in our reality.
The first reason is that there are multiple influences on what is projected into our lives. And secondly, that there is a time lag. The system of projected reality is unfathomable. There are thousands of conditionings in our minds. Often they can be contradictory. This sends mixed messages to the reality generator called the universe. And so we will get mixed results if we aren't clear and single-pointed in our minds. Let's look at an example. Here you can see all the different influences on our reality. Let's say we want more money in our lives. So we have the first conditioning of a desire for money. But we've already said that if we want it too badly, we'll have more of the experience of wanting and scarcity, so it'll be pushed away from us. But even if we change that to a feeling of abundance and gratitude, we may still have some negative beliefs about money, and these may be deeply unconscious. We may believe that we'll never be well off, or that money is evil, or that we don't deserve it. Or we may have some unresolved emotions about money. Or in terms of the fourth conditioning, if we treated people badly with respect to money in the past, if we stole, cheated, or lied, it will also have an effect on our reality. Did we share our wealth with others in the past? Because what goes around comes around. And then there is the effect of the collective consciousness. What is the collective consciousness of people around us? How do other people in our lives affect our shared reality?
So it is beneficial for us to visualize what we choose to have happen in our lives. It keeps our minds aligned with our goal. It creates positive conditionings. But to equate visualization with instant manifestation is oversimplistic. We have to remember that we are given what we need to grow, not necessarily what we want for our own gratification. This certainly brings peace to me personally.
There is a second reason why we may not experience that our thoughts create our reality. When we plant seeds, they take time to germinate and flower. Our thoughts and feelings, which are powered by our conditionings, are those seeds. And the plants and flowers that grow are the manifestation of those thought patterns. There is a time lag between our thoughts and feelings and the people and situations which manifest into our lives. Therefore, we may miss the connection. In our next video, we shall go deeper into exactly how manifestation works. Let's remember that the mind is a powerful thing, and in most of us, quite underutilised. Through awareness and positive, powerful visualisation, we can influence our reality by aligning our minds with what we choose to have in life and letting go of our negativities. Through deep self-reflection and using aspects of the New Groove technique, we can grow. We can change our conditionings and influence our reality the way we choose to, whilst always accepting whatever comes up.
Because at some deeper level, we do choose our reality. Now clearly, no one wants to have ill health or disability or live in extreme poverty or be a victim of war. Nobody would ever choose that from the place of the mind. But we can never know the agenda of the soul. The soul may choose to grow with a sick body, or in poverty or war, or deal with difficulties in life. In fact, in history, it is often those people who face the greatest hardships who have also triumphed the most, both materially and spiritually. It is unfathomable. We cannot know the full agenda of the soul.
Problems love worry. What problems we resist persist. So when we're going through a difficult time, it helps to remain as centered and as calm and as accepting as possible. Scarcity thinking creates a feeling of lack in our lives. Can we choose to feel abundant with what we have already been given? The main tool is gratitude, which we covered in day 14. We can let go of unhelpful beliefs which may be influencing our reality. People in situations will trigger our past unresolved emotions and pain, so that it is brought to our awareness. We can consciously influence our reality by releasing negative worries about the future. A tool we can use is as soon as we wake up, we can visualize and imagine our goals fully realized. Then we jump into that future and imagine how we feel with a big smile, as if it's actually happening right now. Then we surrender any attachment or expectation and accept any outcome. In our next video, we'll look at the science behind how our unconscious conditionings create the reality that we experience.